Afternoon all, how are we all doing? How's everybody? Everybody survived non-farm payroll? Still alive? That's all good. Hello. Fine. How are we all doing? Peter, Steve, JC, Sarah, Kennelly, Martin, Lucas, how are we all doing? Crom, Christian, XYF.news, EMAC, David, how you doing? Brian, Marco, Andres. God, there's a lot here this afternoon, isn't there, Danny and Pip? How are we doing? I got a headache. Doing this juice diet, not doing it anymore. I've only done it for a day and a half. The wife's given up. I'm on the verge of giving up. How does drinking just juice dehydrate you so much that your head hurts? Bizarre. I don't get it. I'm only drinking liquid. I'm having a liquid diet. And yet, the one thing you get is a headache through dehydration. Doesn't make sense. But yeah. Eating food again. Anti-juicer, yeah. It's good stuff. That stuff. Juice Master. You see that? Ooh. Jason Vale. Jason Vale's diet is really good. If you don't get headaches. I can't do it. Given up. 2 days. Only cost me 400 quid. We've got a freezer full of, I'm not joking, right? We've got an American fridge freezer. One that opens like that. You should know about these, you people in America. In the UK, we call them American fridge freezers because in ours, we have 2 doors up and down, and you have them open like that, like wings. They're brilliant. So I've got an entire freezer. The whole thing is stacked out with frozen juice. 400 quid's worth. Lasted 1 day. You juiced for 30 days, Steve. How are you alive? Can't do it. We're grumpy. We're tired. It's meant to make you feel invigorated. We went to bed early last night because we were so headachy and tired. We couldn't stay awake. Not for me. I went to a spin class yesterday as well, and I did really good calories. But we read the bottle, and there's 800 calories in the entire thing for the whole day. 800. I burn over 500 calories in a spin class. Can't survive. It passes after 3 to 4 days. I can't get through 3 to 4 days. No, can't do it. Evil. It's evil. And boring, yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I live on these. This is my normal diet. Yeah, heels. So I have one of those in the morning, I have one of those for lunch, and then I have normal food in the evening. That's my normal diet. But that is 800 calories for breakfast and lunch combined, and then a normal meal, 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day. Perfect. Those juices are like 800 calories the whole day. Have you had a George? You have a George Floyd freezer? I don't know. We call them American fridge freezers. Anyway, trading has already given us a headache. Yeah, we don't need more from juices. One sec. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, so anyway, enough of that. Afternoon, Neo, Fletch, everybody. Gray, Virginia, no one, Monkey. It's going to be a short one this afternoon. I've got to go out at 3. So we'll do the open. We'll have a look at the non-farm payroll fallout, but it's Friday afternoon. It's post non-farm payroll. It's usually a really quiet session anyway, so I don't think we're going to get an awful lot of movement. The US news, obviously with non-farm came out at negative 187. The unemployment rate dropped, as you would expect, for the US dollar, which is typically bullish US dollar, which is why it's green. However, the US dollar didn't really like it. Pound US dollar's flown to the upside. So US dollar yen's come down. US dollar CAD coming down. Yeah, so the US dollar has reacted totally negatively to that positive news. This is what I keep saying, right? At the moment, it doesn't matter what you say. If there's a little bit of negative news on the US, collapse. Any positive news, yeah, we'll think about going up if we fancy it. But you give it one opportunity to go negative, non-farm coming out weak, which is nowhere near as important as the unemployment rate, it dumps. So market's not happy with that at the moment, but we'll see what it makes of it this afternoon. So Canadian unemployment came out as expected. The unemployment change was down. So that's negative CAD as well. So we've had negative CAD news, negative US news. But if you look at the US dollar CAD as a gauge, you can see that it was a whipsaw, but overall less on the US side. So the US dollar's news is a little bit less, more of a strong reaction to the downside than the Canadian dollar. But they obviously cancel each other out, because if you get a negative against a negative, it meets sideways. Yeah. So that hasn't gone far. I'm short on this one at the moment. I suspect we'll probably get some continuation on this US dollar. I had a pound US dollar long on. I still have, actually. So I'm long on pound US dollar. My exposure at the moment on US dollar is short. So pound US dollar short. So that's coming into profit. The US dollar yen is in profit. Might bank that. Should I leave it? Might leave it for the minute. So I'll probably bank a little bit this afternoon. I've got 0.5%, sort of 0.7% I can bank there. But I'm just going to give it another hour and see what that does. So yeah, really weird reaction again. News is just not doing what news normally does at the moment, but we're approaching terminal rate on the interest rates. So we will see. So the DAX ORB today was absolutely beautiful. I took the pre-market short, got out with a 2R, pulled back up and absolutely collapsed. So I didn't get on any of that, but yeah, big drop today. So if we look at all the other indices, the S&P, that has also dropped. The Dow has dropped a little, but it's all recovered off the back of non-farm. Obviously, the US dollar dropping means indices up, US up, indices down. So we've got a positive reaction at the moment. So it's very difficult to see which way this is going to go. There's a lot of volume come in, a lot of volatility come in on the US indices off of the news, obviously. So the actual open might be a little bit of a lackluster whipsaw, but we'll see. Quite often we will get a strong reaction off of it. There's also a lot of stocks had earnings out last night that the stock market hasn't had a full chance to react to yet. So Airbnb, Amazon and Apple, Coinbase, Gilead, all after markets last night. We could well get a big initial rally, but I don't think it will be particularly long-lived. So other than that, there's no other news this morning. So business as usual there. So we'll see what happens with the open. We've got 47 seconds. So looking at the Dow, we'll have a look at all the FX ADRs and RSI here. The ADRs, so we'll have a look at those in a sec as well. But the Dow today, as you can see, we're in a 2-day range at the moment. We still haven't broken out of the US session high yet. That's yesterday's high and low, so could go absolutely anywhere. Just go with momentum, whichever way the market wants to go today. So upside, unlikely we're going to get an ADR today, but I would look at yesterday's high and low for limit order triggers. So TP's up there and down there. But other than that, there's your open. So that's your pre-market range, 15-minute. To see what we're doing here. So we're taking the pre-market 5 on the S&P, pre-market 15 on the NASDAQ, and the pre-market 15 on the, sorry, S&P, pre-market 15, NASDAQ, pre-market 15, Dow, pre-market 5. At the moment, nothing's broken. Oh yeah, we're short on the S&P. This will be a tricky one today, I think, because I get the feeling we might just get a little bit of a whippy one, but See what happens. NASDAQ's gone long. I was expecting a bullish move on the NASDAQ today because we had all those lovely earnings, Amazon up 8%. Not really moving. So we had a lot of what should have been potential bullish movement this morning in the Globex session on the US indices, but it didn't do it. Dow's gone long. Going long on the S&P as well. So hedged on the S&P. We've got a lot of alerts going off somewhere. What's alerting me? Not in there. It must be in there. Dow's flying. Nope. Still a US dollar. Need to clear these out. US dollar CAD, maybe it was that. That's already triggered. Don't know what that was. %12 today, look. 4% bank this morning. Pound US dollar. 8% open P&L. Compounding. See? A couple of little losses. Get those back. Let the runners run. Make a load of money. Right, Dow's out the highs. So we've rejected that high there. Got 1.5 minutes left. We've got alerts going off, and I don't know what platform they're on at all. They don't sell them in Canada. What? American fridge freezers. You burn around 1,500 calories only for your body function, not doing anything. Yeah. I burn minimum 500 calories spinning every day. So I have 2,000 calories and I maintain my body weight. Great. I'm not really doing this to lose weight. I'm doing it as a sort of a detox thing to get, because it's all just fruit juice and vegetables and just really good cleansing for your body, but can't do it. Headaches. I need somebody to permanently massage my temples at the moment. Awful. I know some people have had it as well that have done this and they've had it the same and they've given up as well. I think if you can get through the headache phase, you're all right, but I'd rather eat. Afternoon, Amy. Aussie dollar CAD, a good short. Not at the moment. Canadian, well, this is a tricky one because we've just had loads of negative news on the Aussie. We've just had negative news now on the Canadian dollar. So kind of cancel each other out. So yeah, I mean, it is an ADR reversal. So you have got an opportunity for an ADR reversal on this. If we can get up into that propulsion gap today, 150 ADR, that'd be a nice little short play today. Maybe back down into support. Okay, so there's your 5-minute opening ranges in. So your 5-minute RBs are in now on everything. Dow Dow's pulling back, so that's your 5-minute range. Very big range this morning on the Dow. This afternoon. There's your NASDAQ, and there is your S&P. The S&P is a little bit wider. It's even there. So big old ranges gone in on the pre-markets. I think we're 2R pretty much here. Yeah, we're 2R on the NASDAQ. I'm just going to pull the stop up, lock in 1R on that. S&P is going well as well. I think we've got some resistance coming up. That's a really old 3-week high. It's not really that relevant now. They're pulling back quite hard. Running there. Right, let's have a look at the FX pairs while we're waiting for these breaks to figure out what they're doing. Oh, look, negative, positive again. It's really weird, isn't it? This is the second time in a month. But a green P&L. Really weird. Okay, so ADRs. Let's start with the RSIs because right me. EuroCAD. There's the only extension you've got at the moment. You're just about to get extended though. That's the 21 RSI. You're just about to get an extension on the 21 light up, and it's probably going to be 75 by the looks of things. So potential first entry will go in on the EuroCAD today as a short. That's extended on the 14. But in the next 20 minutes, you're going to get quite a few things light up because obviously the Canadian and the US news has put in a nice big 2-hour. It's still putting in a rally, but it's putting an hour rally and it's putting in a second-hour rally. So that's probably enough to take quite a few alerts over those extensions. So there might be some good entry opportunities this afternoon. Unlikely anything's going to play out necessarily this afternoon though, because obviously it's Friday afternoon. So we'll see, but we're coming up to a decent resistance on that. Why have I drawn that in? Oh, it's that high there. Okay. So it's an old high. I wouldn't exactly call that exciting, that level. So get rid of that. Get rid of that level as well now. It's an old level. We've used it. Upsides on this, we've got obviously these highs here. So that's the previous 2-week high and last month's high. So where we are now, obviously if we get extended, get a first entry in and it doesn't play down and we can get an exit, we'll be looking at taking second entry stroke third entry up there and then get out on that drop. So that's your only extension on RSI that we've got to look at the moment. Your ADRs, we've got a few. EuroCAD obviously is an ADR as well today. So that's 100 ADR at the moment. We are tapping into, at the minute, that previous week's high. That's basically the start of last week. So last week, or was that 2 weeks ago? That's last week's high, yeah. So it's happening into that last week's high. So there is potential this will come down. So if you drop down M5, you're not going to get a reversal alert on this until, oh no, it's all right. Not too bad. It's fairly tight. Just quick scout, third of an ADR, half an ADR back down there. Bear with me 1 sec. Yeah, so that's a good looking opportunity for a short. You've got Aussie dollar CAD. That's massively extended to the upside. Obviously, all these are potentially good pullback opportunities. Look at the price action on that. those pullbacks pretty much uniform. Nice. Anyway, but shorts on this one. Aussie dollar CAD. Aussie dollar is weak. I would expect the Canadian dollar to pull out of this. It's only unemployment, but it is important. But I would expect them to rally with the US at some point. So the Aussie dollar is definitely weak at the moment. So that looks like a good short opportunity. Not quite extended yet on the hourly RSI. Not far away though. So watch this propulsion gap, 150 ADR. Might be a good short entry from there. However, it could just get in now and you could take a second and try a quick scalp short. Euro US dollar extended. We're coming up to resistance on this one. However, we've got this whacking great propulsion gap. This whole thing is one massive propulsion gap, basically, on the Euro US. I'm not sure how negative this really should be. That was a positive positive unemployment rate figure. So this looks like a bit of an overreaction to me, but we will see. So yeah, nice mean reversion opportunity there. Euro should be long, US long stroke neutral. So this could go either way. I don't have a problem really taking a trade in any direction on the Euro US dollar at the moment. Moving up and down very nicely. It is more downside than upside at the moment, but that's probably going to change. We're probably going to pull back up into there, but as you can see, it's not really going anywhere. So any direction you want to take that in really, but I'd wait for an extension on the RSI. Hourly, you may well get one Monday. You might get, I mean, if you get one today, I'd be in that. Definitely. If it does like 175, 200 ADR, it's going to be exhausted. You're at least going to get a 38 retracement on it. So that would be a good short. New Zealand CAD. Extended to the upside. Again, this Canadian dollar really, really weak because the US is weak as well. The US is obviously pulling the Canadian dollar down and the Canadian's got its own bad news. So this is a double whammy for the CAD really. So I'm not surprised it's getting very, very extended, but watch the highs. Yeah, we should be getting reversals off of those, but very nicely extended. It's hit ADR, 5-minute reversal alert. You might struggle to get in some of these today. Because the speed of this movement, you're going to find that you're going to get big bull candles to the upside, smaller down candles, which means your reversal alerts are always far away. So it takes a while for you to actually get the alert. By that time, market's probably fizzled out. So not the best thing getting into new entries on a Friday afternoon, but they are there. ADR on that one, US dollar Swiss to the downside. Still going. Yeah. Wait for the reversal alert. That's going to tell you when the market is starting to shift back the other way, but they're all very, very extended at the minute. One sec. Taking some profit. Look at the US indices. Out of the NASDAQ, that's pulled back really hard. I'm break even on the S&P long. The Dow I'm break even on as well. So that's guaranteed profit locked in. This is currently sitting in $800 at 2R. Just going to lock in 1R on that. S&P is at break even on the long. But I have still got a short to deal with on that. But that's coming down really hard. The S&P is probably going to get dragged down with that. If we break this low at the open, we might find ourselves running back down to retest that Globex low today. Bit of a messy market. 8%, that's 12% today, isn't it? Okay, CAD yen's approaching that TP. Putting a trailing stop on that CAD yen just to lock that in. And close that out. New Zealand CAD, I'm just going to close that. It's at ADR, and it's Friday afternoon, so I'd rather have it in the bank. Right, that's that done. US dollar CAD, good short at resistance. I think we just looked at that one, didn't we? Or did we? US dollar CAD. Oh, that resistance there. Well, yeah, I'm already in it. So we had the H1 RSI extension on Wednesday. So that was first entry. After that big rally, tiny little pullback, big rally. So that was first entry short. We've just gone sideways for 2 days, but lovely monthly short there. So yeah. Kind of missed it. I haven't really been paying attention to this account today. Yeah, I mean, the entry was on the news. The trouble with entries on the news is obviously trying to get in during high volatility. You just don't know which way it's going. I mean, if you saw non-farm payroll unfold today, we were there. Non-farm payroll pushed down really hard, then pushed up really hard, then retraced most of it, and then went back up again. So, you know, this is what they do in news. They clear everybody out. And you often find we just revert back to the mean and we're back where we started by the end of the session. So this is what I mean. These news events might well just be complete overreactions and they're just going to bring the price straight back down again. So, because that is a negative figure on the unemployment for the US. That's good, really good, because it means they don't have to put necessarily, they can put the interest rates up more to get on top of inflation faster if they want to, because the unemployment's coming down, which gives them more rein to speed up and build the currency by increasing interest rates and get on top of inflation faster. Whether they will or not, we'll wait and see. But that is normally bullish, and the reaction's been negative, which is wrong. So, you know, it's one of those things with news. It sometimes just doesn't make sense at all, and nothing you can really do about it. Basically, just sit there, watch, and wait. So this may not be the direction that we're going to go with this US dollar CAD. The Canadian dollar has had bad news, which is bullish for US dollar CAD. The US dollar's had good news, which is bullish for US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD's coming down. Both of those news events mean that this should have gone up. So I wouldn't necessarily trust that, but I'm short anyway, so I'll deal with it. You know, I don't know. Lovely short, yeah. Technically, it looks brilliant. Fundamentally, it doesn't make sense. But nothing makes sense. You know, this is the thing. Everybody, like I've said many, many times in here, everybody is trying to find a system or a strategy to make sense and control a completely random, illogical market. Every single market is random and illogical. How can you possibly build a system or strategy that's consistently profitable? You can't. So what you have to do is get in and out how you see the thing moving. If you take every single one of these, your strike rate will be X. Won't be, because the strike rate you had in the past is not going to be the same as you have in the future, because the next time you get to there, the random 50-50 chance of it breaking through or not breaking through is going to create a different strike rate to what you've ever seen in the past. So nothing works, does it? You know that. You get in, you handle it, you deal with it. So I'm short and I'm staying short. And I hope very much that the US dollar does continue to collapse for a couple of days. But if it doesn't, we'll see. Thanks for subscribing, Abbas. Welcome aboard. S&P's pushing back up to the highs. We just tapped 2R. Sorry, we just tapped 3R. So I should be taking profit at 2R on the Dow. I'm going to put it just under that propulsion gap and lock in 1.5. We're just approaching ADR on the Dow now. total confusion on the S&P. David, I spent years looking for the best strategy. Thankfully, now I position trade my personal accounts and scalp gold using a great strategy. I built the past funded accounts. Cool. Good job. Right, NASDAQ's just broken that low. S&P have stopped out on the long at break even. Looks like I'm about to stop out on the Dow. 1.5. Yeah, stopped out on the Dow. So flat, flat, I have a short on. So overall at the moment, up. What was that this morning? That was 1,000 this morning, wasn't it? Up 328, up 566, 565, and 400 in the hold there. So I could close that out basically and just walk away and take 1,300. I'm going to see what this S&P does, because the NASDAQ looks like it wants to break short and test these lows. And if that happens, it's going to drag this S&P down. If we get back down to 1 hour short on the S&P, I'll probably just close that and take that. That's another $300 odd, isn't it? So I think that's the way out today. CAD yen's going to stop out as well. This is retracing a lot. So just watch this US dollar and this Canadian dollar. I have a feeling we're going to be back where we started a bit later. So if you've got any profit on, got that US dollar yen short. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the US dollar yen off. Just get something in the bank. Pound US dollar. We're still rallying on that at the moment. And Aussie US. I'm just looking to reduce the exposure on the US dollar a little bit. Short US dollar CAD. First entry just gone in on that one. No, sorry. No, it hasn't. That was 2 days ago. Just got back to break even on it. Yeah, sorry. See, it's this juice. I'm not with it at all. I'm toying with the idea of banking some of this pound US, basically. It's taking that one off. The trouble is these two are so far away, the average is going to jump up to 200 ADR, which will be 100 ADR away on Monday. 150. I'll leave it. What do we reckon? What's this US dollar doing? So this is pulling back as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my Aussie US TPs down underneath that resistance. Yeah. So if we get back to that and retest it and drop, fill that propulsion gap, I think we're probably going up a little bit more. But if I can get out there, that's going to bank sort of around about 1/3% or something. That just gets me up to 2% for the week, which is not great, but I'll take that in summer months. And then I'll have a look at the pound US dollar later and see where we close. if this US dollar is going to continue to drop, we will find ourselves somewhere up here, in which case I'll probably bank that one. And then I'll be very, just be short look of that first entry. And then if it comes back down on Monday, I can take another entry here. And that'll bring the average down to be able to get out on the next leg up. So assuming this is going to hold, we'll go up. Yeah, so this is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Really badly drawn, wasn't it? Inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so out of the S&P. So there we go. So this is that new variation on the strategy for the opening range that I was talking about earlier or yesterday. Someday when I wasn't drinking juice, probably. So basically, when you get hedged, what I've noticed by just looking through every single day on the indices years is if the initial break fails, quite often you will come back down and retest and take out those lows. So it's kind of a whipsaw. Obviously, this is what we get in a rotation. So if you hedge, you get the opportunity, basically, if you can make money on the long and you can get to a point where you can get out of that short with virtually no profit, you can break even on the day. So by getting that wrong twice today, I've managed to break even with $30. So when you break even with $30 on one thing, but the other two play out and bank you $900 in this case, job done, isn't it? So it's just removing that that loss element by just breaking even on that and saying, right, didn't work on that today, but we'll take the ones that did. And this one worked this morning, obviously, as well, didn't it? So good day overall. But these things don't really know where they want to go today. So I would probably just steer clear and go and do something else, which is what I'm doing at 3 o'clock in 2 minutes. Baggy, great week for you. Cool. Good job if you've made profit. Michael's off as well. Everyone's going home early Friday. Just taking some more profit off over here. Look at this. All my P&Ls today are absolutely green as you like. Love it. Finally. Right. Poets Day. Payday. So back on Monday. So as of next week, down to 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So I might have to take other days off because it's the holidays as well. So I'm off doing things with the family and stuff. So so basically next week we're going to be down to 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I've put that up on the website on the live room page. So it's everybody knows, but yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same times as usual, just dropping down to 3 days a week because we've got a lot less analysis to do because the market's going to be a lot quieter over the summer months. And we'll see how it goes because analyzing the market every day, I am saying the same thing all day, every day, aren't I? So if I say the same thing to you 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week, I'm still saying the same thing over and over again, and it will sink in. So basically, I think 3 days a week's enough, to be honest. And yeah, might as well enter semi-retirement. So back on Monday, same time, 7:50 for the Frankfurt session, 2:20 for the US session. And we will basically do the same as usual, but we'll see how it goes. But for all of August, it's going to be 3 days a week. You'll be fine, don't worry. I'm in Telegram. You can always ask questions in Telegram on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm going to tell you the same thing when you ask me a question. Should I sell this? Should I buy this? And I'll go, if you want to. I have no idea if it's going to go up or down. But buy it, see what happens. And if it doesn't go your way, add another one and wait till it does. It's really easy, isn't it? Just the same thing. But just make sure you're here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Fridays. I got to stop this juicing. It's killing me. 1 month Lambo rental secured. 11.46 on the NAS today. Good one, Brian. Yeah. Is it really? 1 month Lambo rental for $1,100? It's got to be more than that, isn't it? Lambo's probably worth as much as my house. Are you paying it off over 30 years? But have a wonderful weekend. Have a good weekend. Make sure you go and spend all your money, which is lovely. I like spending money. If you need anything, come in Telegram. I'll be around there over the weekend. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.